she would kind of like be friendly to me and then just completely ignore me, and then she'd be friendly again and then completely ignore me. And
Yeah.
I'd ask her, I'm like, you know, just be honest with me. I mean, if you don't want to talk to me or anything, just say so. You won't hurt my feelings because I've already had my feelings hurt pretty bad, and why drag it out, right? And she would just ignore me, right? Would not say a thing,
Yeah.
and then be friendly and kind of do that, and she just do that off and on, right, for a couple of weeks, and it just drove me nuts, right? Because
Yeah.
and it was hard for me to take, and then practically every night for about 6 months, she would show up in my dreams basically every night and torture me and laugh at me, and maybe some of it was just in my head or dream entities, feeding off my energy because I reacted so strongly to her, right?
Yeah.
So, and that was just, and that went on, like I said, for around 6 months, and I tried yelling my intent to kick her out of my dreams because it was driving me nuts again, and um, and then so one time I was in a dream, I was lucid, and I saw this owl, and I had a feeling that it had to do with her, right? And so I voiced my intent to follow it, but I really meant to voice my intent to, kick her out of the dream. And then all of a sudden, I was in this dream in a classroom where she was sitting beside me, but she was ignoring me reading or something. And that was a very vivid dream too.
Mhm.
But eventually, I had to. I I guess I kind of figured that maybe she never knew how to close her intent or to keep her from getting into my dreams, basically.
Right.
Like maybe she didn't really realize she was doing it, so I knew that I needed some of her energy, right? And I remembered that I'd mailed her a book. Um, so I asked her one day, just out of the blue, I'm like, hey, I'd like that book back, and she sent it back to me, with no problem, no nothing, but yeah, no problem, and I was right. She had left some energy in it because when I held it in my hands, my hands would just start to shake violently, and it was freaking me out. Right? I'm thinking this is crazy, and I put it on my
Yeah.
bookshelf in my room, and I literally could feel like this book was staring at me with the most evil intent. And I was thinking, geez, I'm really losing my marbles. Maybe I should see a fucking psychiatrist or something because I'm
Right.
just like I'm losing my mind here, right?
That's a tragedy of growing up in the Western world.
Yeah, exactly, and it is. And so what I did was I saged the book, and then I burned it. Yeah, I just basically burned it, focusing all my intent to keep her out of my dreams, right? And then I went to bed, and with all my might, I willed myself into a dream to find her dream body and literally yell, "Stay the hell out!" Because I have to recover here. I have to heal. You know.
Yeah.
So, but that night, I went into a dream. I tried to find her, and I came across this giant TV screen. And scrolling across it was, "Get out, stay out." In other words, the barrier was complete. She could no longer enter my dreams, and I could no longer enter hers. And
Wow.
so, and she's never. Well, I won't say never, but I've never dreamed of her or thought about her obsessively ever since.
Yeah.
So, and I was allowed to heal with that. Yeah.
Wow, that is quite the epic tale. Actually, that story reminds me more personally of Celine and I than that girl Ray and I.
Yeah. Interesting. Um, and and yeah, like I kind of would like to settle the score with her in this life and reach some sort of closure.
Yeah.
It's probably not gonna happen, but and the reason why I say this is because in the next life, I'm gonna have to deal with her again in a different form, and we're gonna have the same problem,
Yes.
and I don't want to repeat it every friggin' lifetime.
Yeah.
I'd rather settle the score now, but
Yeah. That's
so
right. That's what you should do.
but
Well, I have a lot of insight and just by you talking about it, but because it's so personal,
mhm.
that will be a private conversation.
uh yeah, so I don't know, private. Yeah,
Yes.
of course, and I am putting this story up on YouTube. I'll probably embarrass myself in front of a lot of people, but for me, speaking about the truth and what you believe in and what you really feel is that is what is important to me, not what people think of me.
Right.
Um, so, and that's why I say that.
Well, the trailblazers, if you look at history, the trailblazers in anything were always called crazy. I mean,
Yeah,
oh, you're gonna fly a plane. How are you how are you gonna put a flying machine in the air when it doesn't flap its wings? That doesn't make any sense.
yeah,
How are you gonna make something? How are you gonna make a machine out of steel that flies in the air? You are insane.
yeah, yeah. And people are using them every day now. Yeah.
Exactly. Um, so I wanted where do you see shared lucid dreaming and shared dreaming going as a global community as of the human race?
Well, I'm definitely running. I'm definitely running across it more, because like a couple months ago, I decided that I wanted to get into this again, and there's another thing that I learned from Lone Wolf just recently is that power or the spirit power doesn't allow you things; it provides things, right? And so as soon as I wanted to get back onto that path, it just just set it up, and I mean, and shortly after, I was back a part of the sub forum again, and we're doing great. And then I ran into another girl that was pointed out to me, and we were trying to share dream again. Um, yeah, to share dream and meet in dreams, and she had a similar history as me, and then you and Raven Knight showed up at the forum at the same time and started posting about all these shared dreams. So the way I see it, like it's happening, right? And
Yeah.
all the people that I am involved with, the people on the sub forum, this woman, yeah, they're all of the same attitude that people need to learn about this and experience it for themselves because it is the next logical evolutionary step, in my
Yeah.
mind, anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Um, how about we talk a little bit about our non-lucid dream that you and I shared, and then open the floor up to questions.
Yeah, that'd be great. Um, I think we already talked about it a little earlier, but I guess you want to go into more detail.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, how about I'll start, and that way it can be demonstrated to the people that are listening what it's like to share a dream. So
Yeah.
I'll just say the whole dream as much as I can. Actually, you know what? Maybe I can pull it up in my dream journal.
Yeah.
I can't go online because this laptop is really slow.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Sorry about that.
The,
Tried to open up my dream journal program,
yeah.
and this laptop is
Let's
too
just
slow. It cannot multitask. I kind of
let's just
killed it half to death.
okay. Well,
Down many fractals.
we'll just talk about it. Like I said, in my dream, I was in some sort of warehouse party,
Hmm.
and I was sitting at some sort of rackety wooden table with you and Celine, who I didn't know